You saw me just as the blade. That's all I was to you, the blade. A weapon. Well, guess what? I'm choosing what I fight for now.
Well, my fellow peeps, I just want to say, welcome. This is a character analysis of Technoblade's character in the story of Dream SMP. I will not be covering the whole Dream SMP storyline, but rather character arcs that I feel can be elaborated on and more extended, and in a way make it so that you can literally not only put yourself in their shoes, but also walk away with lingering questions and better further insight on the character they have. Also, I will not be taking requests of which characters to analyze, as I am not going to spend hours watching multiple perspectives that may not interest me. This analysis is broken up into 4 parts beyond this point: background context, character relations, character analysis, and conclusion. That said, let the analyzation begin. First of all, I need to sum up the events from when Technoblade first joined and when he was last seen on the server. To put it shortly as we can, Techno first joined the Dream SMP to aid an exiled Wilbur and Tommy who wanted to revolutionize against Shalat, who was basically a tyrant at this point towards the country Lemanburg. Techno makes it very clear since the very beginning and his intentions in joining that he is an anarchist and fights for what he believes the most, which is anarchy, but he still, however, pledges loyalty to those he fights with. After the revolution being won thanks to Technoblade and many others, Techno was immediately shocked and baffled when everyone he fought with immediately formed another government right in front of his eyes, which made him spawn 2 widows on Lemanburg. And with that, he told the story of Theseus to Tommy, the man who he fought alongside with and joined the SMP of. One of the reasons he joined the SMP because of him. So he says to Tommy, and quote, "You want to be a hero, Tommy? That's fine. Then die like one." After that, his hidden base was raided and ransacked by others. He proceeded to move far away from Lemanburg, opting to give up on violence and tried to live in peace. Keyword here is tried. During his stay out of Lemanburg, he made a vow for peace, deciding to square off violence much to the dismay of the voices in his head, aka the live chat. However, it did not last long as the Butcher army hunted him down and attempted to execute him, only for him to live and escape thanks to the Totem of Undying, provided by Dream technically, because he gave him the location to find the Totem of Undying. That said, Techno arrives home to find Tommy breaking into and living underneath his house, and he ends up teaming up with Tommy. After a bit of terrorism, Tommy betrays Techno, only for a day later, Techno comes back to Lemanburg and destroys it. That is where he was last seen. This may sound like I'm skipping a lot of parts, but I'm only covering key points. On to the next segment, which will give further info on why Techno did what he did, but we need to establish the relationships he has with others first, before we can establish why he is becoming the way he is. Blade's relationships with others is simply not just black and white. It's gray for certain characters. He is on good terms, sure, with Skeppy and Bad Boy Halo, for example, but with Crackety and Tubbo, he's not really in good relations with. Those are his black and white relations, in accordance to the storyline, obviously. That said, though, he gets along with them outside of the plot, regardless of the role they play as. We're talking about the characters, and the 4 characters he mostly interacts with so far since the very beginning is Dream, Tommy, Wilbur/Ghostbur, and Phil. Dream and Techno are not very close to each other as friends, but they are simply what can be seen as two equal forces of powers who are rivals but respect each other in a sense. Think of like Pokemon rivals, like they're both equally strong in a sense, but they're rivals. They have a respect. Or a Pokemon championship with a champion leader to the next. I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm going with this. Okay, so Dream has the power of controlling the entire server along with access to creative mode, and Techno has the power to control his relations with others. And despite the contrary belief he has, he is actually charismatic with violence. That said, Dream and him don't really see each other as friends either, and only team up in the finale due to a mutual interest they both want as they both want to destroy the Man Book for different gains. Dream wanted the disc and to shadow their hope, and along with other motives I will not delve into since I don't watch his streams. While Techno believes it will free the people, he also despises the government due to its corrupted nature, as also he's an anarchist. He believes in freedom of the people, more so like you are freedom of your own self, really. Anarchy kind of has a very vague definition that a lot of people misinterpret. But he is an anarchist at the end of the day, let's just put it like that. While Technoblade isn't really an arbitrator of the law, he isn't really a man of chaos either. His actions just produce chaos due to his very strong beliefs in his own system of morals and laws. So, in D&D terms, he is a lawful neutral in a sense. You can check out Nostromo's video for more info on this in the upper card corner right there. Other relations with characters are Wilbur and Tommy. Wilbur, when he was alive, he got along with due to mutual interest at the end of the day. Both of them wanted to destroy the Man Book, just with separate reasons, but still did the same goal. In other words, with both Wilbur and Dream, Techno exhibits a more business-like relationship with them, a temporary alliance, if you will. With Ghostbur, Techno is very protective of him and very docile with him due to their past bond, and it can be inferred that he and Wilbur were close when they were alive, and Techno does not perceive Ghostbur as a threat, and since in canon lore that Techno is Filza's old friend, it can be taken into account that since Filza and Techno have a good relationship with each other, he also takes Wilbur under his protection since he knows how much Phil loves his son. So in other words, by association with Phil, he associates Wilbur as good. Despite that, however, he remains steady in his own goals and beliefs. He does not betray it, he does not completely go against his character, he remains in that goal and belief. Tommy is someone who he constantly clashed with in the very beginning. In the beginning, he and Tommy simply got along due to, again, mutual interests. Over time, they did become friends, but there was still that barrier of distance between them, and during the revolution, that distance still remained, where they were more like rivals, or temporary allies who only tolerated each other barely. That said, Tommy, since the very beginning, okay, sorry, I was reading the script and I'm following a script, so yeah. That said, since the very beginning has referred to Techno as the Blade and uses this nickname a lot to address him. Due to this, Techno often acts like a hidden card in a sense, or a hidden weapon in Tommy and even other people's conflicts. And when he is shown up, many people fear him due to them all knowing his own nature, which is blood. What else is there to him? It's just blood, right? So over during Tommy's second exile, and him breaking into and living under Techno's home, like, you know, trash, or, you know, a rat, really. Techno decides to take in Tommy out of benefit at first because of, again, mutual interest, but he does eventually warm up and opens up to Tommy, even going as far to give him his axe of peace, along with the turtle helmet and a music disc on Christmas. All of them were given on separate points, but the point remains he trusted Tommy enough to give him stuff. Since it's unknown to me if Tommy is canonically Phil's son, I can't say that he had any bias towards Tommy in the same affiliation with Wilbur because I don't know if they're canonically related. And if they are, it could be that he found Tommy as more suspicious or more irritating than Wilbur. So there's that too. But even so, he still possibly let him in due to Wilbur and Tommy being close, and he respects Wilbur, which could lead back to Phil. That said, Tommy then posts the ultimate blah moment and betrays Techno the day of the second festival in Lemanburg and betrays him for the people who exiled and betrayed him. So basically, the people who banned him from the country, he decided to betray Techno for. Yeah, that was his pro-gamer move, alright? Techno, obviously shocked and hurt by this, asks for the axe he gave him back, to which Tommy responds with that he is worthy of the axe, even though Techno says he isn't, but he responds with he is worthy. Techno then tells him he can't take back what he did, meaning Tommy cannot take back the decision to betray him as he did. And the next day, Techno destroys Lemanburg with the alliance of Dream and Phil and calls Tommy out for betraying him, not once, but multiple times. Tommy, remaining in denial, not only manages to keep believing he is in the right, but he just also turns other members of the server against Techno, yet again holding him to something he didn't really have a choice in a matter of, which is the massacre of Lemanburg, or the Manburg Festival or whatever. Look, I don't remember these titles by heart, okay? But he drags on this thing that Techno did a long time ago, killing his BFF, and he's obviously soured by it. But we'll go into that more later. Techno didn't really have a choice in that matter. Nobody came and helped him out. That said, since their relationship is soured. Finally, there's Phil. As Techno claims, Phil is his only friend that he can trust on the server. Being old friends and all, Phil is the only one to remain on Techno's side. Phil more like he joins Techno's side after he sees how corrupted the government is, but he doesn't outright betray Techno either, so technically you can still say he's on his side. Other relations he has on the server are more domestic, but not friendly or docile, rather. He is okay with Rambo, for example, but it is clear there is a distance, not only due to his distrustful nature since the very beginning, as it is shown he is very distrustful, but also his recent betrayal thanks to, Tommy. Phil is his only friend in this very case, and that's kind of sad. Techno is not a simplistic character by any means. If anything, he is the most complex and even the most debatable in moralistic terms in the fanbase. However, he is loyal to his own beliefs and, as so claims, has voices in his head, aka live chat. His voices in his head probably made up those beliefs and mores he may have, or they were always instilled from the beginning. But to one point, he says to Phil that the voices are too loud and he can't ignore them, but he's trying. They do various of things. The voices get sad at him, they get angry at him, they even mock him. And since the chat is canon lore, it can even be said it is never enough for the voices, as in, they will always demand blood to be spilled. These expectations these voices bring on, combined with Techno's own belief, as well as expectations of others, due to him being so fearful and respected only through fear, he never really had a genuine relationship as someone to see him as an equal or as someone he can be open with, such as Phil. And ironically enough, maybe even Dream. But since Dream is a cold and calculating person, their relationship itself is shallow. Techno appears in the story very distrustful of everyone. Considering how he even grinded and made a secret vault not once but twice, he clearly has some trust issues. Why? Simply because he was never regarded as a person with feelings. His point of view is never seen by the other characters of the SMP. Imagine this. You're feared all the time, And the people who fear you don't want to be, who are afraid of you don't want to be near you. And those who don't fear you only use you for what you are good for, in whether skills, charisma, or even the reputation and aura you give off to others. Any relationship that was equal or mutual was only one to a structural business-like model and was only cold and calculating from both parties. Along with that, inner voices just berating you and treating you like you would never be enough for them. They will never be satisfied no matter how much blood is spilled. In a sense, it's not that Techno wants chaos, but he is near the edge of insanity and chaos due to the voices in his head. A lot of people don't give in consideration of how the voices may play into his character. Though his beliefs and morals seem to be separate from the voices, he somehow synergizes the voices with his belief, as in he finds a common ground. You can consider that he is not only at war constantly on the outside, but on the inside to figure out what is satisfying for him, what will be enough, how to keep the voices entertained and intrigued. In a way, he is only an instrumental puppet to his own voices in his head, a toy, if you will, in his own mind. So, given the relations to characters, how Phil treats him and how Tommy had treated him after gaining his trust, it's undeniable that Techno's character is incredibly strong, like mentally strong so it's not only that when he hurts others, he inflicts the worst pain on others, he is also in pain as well because he endures most of the pain himself. In a way, no matter how loud he screams out his pain, no matter how loud he screams out his pain, his betrayal, his feelings, no one's going to listen to him. The voices drown him out, even. His reputation drowns him out. What he offers drowns him out. He will never be heard. Except by Phil. When Phil offers a genuine relationship after the betrayal of Tommy, it's almost like Techno is clinging and begging to Phil not to betray him or use him or treat him like an object like other people have done. In a way, Phil is all Techno has left in the Dream SMP world because everyone has only seen him for what he can do for them, what goals they can mutually agree on, and what resources they can use from him. Techno is considered a double-edged sword because his strength to hurt others comes from the hurt that is heavy on him that he receives from others. His own mind hurts him, and when he finally lets someone in and that person abandons him, then what can he do but be in pain and lash out in that pain? Can anyone really blame him? He is going technically insane in his own mind by these voices, and there is no escaping their thirst for blood. Could even be theorized that Techno would not be as violent as he was in the SMP if it weren't for the voices, and if he had to be violent, it would be for his own beliefs, and not just random bloodlust out of nowhere, it seems like. Like, it would have action and reasoning, and most of the time his killing has reason. Most of the time. The times it doesn't, he was peer pressured in, which nobody stood up for him for. He even steps into the line for others to help others out, but no one did it for him. Not Will, not Tommy. Phil kinda did it, kinda not, but at least he didn't betray Techno. So, clap on the back for that. Techno is trapped in his own mind, in the expectations of others even, with nowhere to go but to Phil, and even then that's still not enough, not for him, not for the voices in his head. Technoblade, the man known as the Blade, the person who slaughtered many out of bloodlust and betrayal, the person regarded as a villain despite him being innocent a lot of the times. He is in a world of pain that nobody seems to recognize but Phil. The other characters in the SMP only respect and like him out of fear. Those who try to get to know him and get to know his true nature use him and leave him in the dust. Once he is no longer of use to them, they take advantage of his kindness and vulnerability even. Techno, although called a traitor by many, was the most loyal of them all, the most honest of them all even. From the very beginning he was clear with his intentions. He caused chaos because of all of his beliefs, that is true, but also because of the pain he is enduring. His pain does not excuse the chaos he has caused, but rather give further intel on the tragic background of him. Seem seen more as a weapon rather than a person, his voice will forever be drowned out in not only the insanity of his mind, but the sanity to keep himself afloat. He is simply a double-edged blade. While he pierces others, he also pierces himself no matter how hard he tries not to. It's a tragic tale of never-ending, never-satisfying tale of a battle between sanity and insanity. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the speed paint. I know I didn't, more like illustration making. I'm trying to drop the habit of using that word because definitions. But in other words, thank you for watching the video. I don't know what the next video will be. We will find out as we go. I don't really have a plan. Well, I have a plan. I just can't reveal it because that's spoiling anyway. Bye!